Hey guys, welcome back to the Friday Vlog, where we discuss activity that goes on here with the BuzWeaver channel. That includes things like current events, headlines that are in the news, pop culture, social media, and items of interest that come up during the week that allow us to have a little bit of a dialogue. I want to thank all you guys across New Tech, as well as here on YouTube, for your guys' continued support.
We start things off from the Daily Mail. Nancy Pelosi concedes Biden may drop out of 2024 race, then laughs and refuses to say if Kamala Harris is the best running mate. So there you have it. We are looking at the potential beginnings of Joe Biden, the slow crawl to have Joe Biden removed, because as we covered yesterday on the BuzWeaver channel about the indictments against Hunter Biden, and if Joe Biden does get impeached, the information that's going to come out in that is going to be indefensible for the establishment and Democrats. So things are getting very ugly, very messy. So I would love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions on what we're going to cover today, because this is what we have been talking about here on the channel for quite some time. And that is, has the Establishment Uni-party at this point, along with Democrats, finally cracking? Are people finally seeing their manipulations, coercion, and weaponization, and so things just aren't working? Just like with mask mandates and potential lockdowns. There are so many things that the Establishment Uni-party and legacy media are trying to do, and it's just not working. Former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi conceded Joe Biden may drop out of the 2024 race, then smirked, laughed. Okay, we just read that. Worryingly for the president, Pelosi also gave an evasive answer when pressed about whether his career will continue until 2024 and beyond. So CNN is trying to play this game with her into getting her to provide more information. This is all probably semi-rehearsed between Anderson Cooper and Nancy Pelosi, so don't kid yourself. Asked if she thought there's any chance Biden does not continue running, Pelosi gave a less than definitive, I hope not, I hope not. So there you have it. Just a interesting little smattering that was going on there with Nancy Pelosi. But it doesn't stop there. We go here to the New York Post. Top Washington Post columnist urges Biden to drop out of 2024 race. Now, being a columnist doesn't give any credence to this whatsoever. I just find it interesting. You guys will have to let me know, because as we've talked about here, are we seeing the mainstream legacy media and the establishment starting to crumble? I mean, we're talking about going from wokeness to cancel culture to all of the manipulations and lies and innuendos and hyperbole, exaggerations, and of course sensationalizing that continues to happen now, even going after President Trump. Prominent Washington Post columnist David Ignatius, who is favored by President Joe Biden, has been supportive of his presidency, has called on the 80-year-old commander-in-chief to drop out of the 2024 race. Well, that's his opinion. In the opinion piece, which I just mentioned now being an opinion, bluntly titled, President Biden should not run again in 2024, Ignatius asserts that Biden's age isn't just a Fox News trope. In fact, he argues, it's been the subject of dinner table conversations across America this summer. I know it has been a conversation for at least 5 years, for at least the last 5 years, as we've covered here on the BuzWeaver channel. Have you guys not seen some of my video shorts? I mean, I probably have, or at one time had, well over 100 of Joe Biden's misspeaks and cognitive issues and other, at least over 100, because I had to go back and change a lot of those because of the issues that we were having here on the channel and why we were demonetized because of not appropriately putting the shorts up. But yeah, there was well over 100. But it's fascinating that we have the mainstream media and Nancy Pelosi implying, suggesting, and potentially outlining that Joe Biden may not be able to run. And here's what's even more interesting. White House sends letters to news execs urging outlets to ramp up scrutiny of GOP's Biden impeachment inquiry based on lies. It's extraordinary. Now, I want you guys to keep this in mind here, where he says based on lies here when it comes to the Democrats and the GOP. My apologies. My nose is itching like crazy. Nonetheless, and this is Oliver Darcy, which makes it all the more amusing, because here we have CNN essentially calling out the White House for sending letters out. We're going to touch on that in just a second, but I just find it fascinating. The White House sent a letter to top U.S. legacy media establishment, Democrat-funded and often utilized news agencies on Wednesday, urging them to intensify their scrutiny of House Republican after Speaker Kevin McCarthy launched an impeachment inquiry into President Joe Biden despite having found no evidence of a crime. Oh boy, there's the framing, ladies and gentlemen. Because see, CNN and the media can suggest and imply that there's no evidence when in reality there is. See, they don't say this about Donald Trump. With Donald Trump, it's absolutely matter of fact to them or based upon sources or people familiar with this investigation, or as others have said, because they're just the hypocrisy of it all is astounding. Now, here's what I wanted to point out. Now, we talked about how they suggest, okay, here we go. Let me just read it. Fact check. Biden tells 3 false personal anecdotes and economic speech. Now, wait a minute. So when it's the GOP, it's based on lies, but when it's Joe Biden, it's just false personal anecdotes. So they don't say Joe Biden's lies. Well, they picked 3 of them here. But obviously there's many, many more, but they were very selective with these in particular. Another rendition of the Amtrak story. You guys are familiar with the Amtrak story. Biden's birth and his grandfather's death. That was kind of amusing when he was talking about that. Biden and a Pittsburgh bridge collapse, and then Biden and the national debt. Biden claimed, and unlike the last president in my first 2 years in office, even with all we've done, I'm the first one to cut the federal debt by $1.7 trillion. This is false, as opposed to it being a lie, ladies and gentlemen. And this is the way it's played. This is the way it's framed. And that's why you're here on the BuzWeaver channel, because we take the difficult, we take the complicated, we take the tumult, we take the confusion, and we point it out. If not, then the media does it themselves. But here it is. Everybody take a moment. Make sure that you're relaxed. Maybe take a sip of your beverage. Just take it easy, because you're going to love this next paragraph right here. So anyway, let me start it off with the title. White House orders the media to keep sainting Joe Biden. And here it is. Here it is. The White House has finally made official what it has been implying for more than 2 years. Any journalist who reports on President Biden's misdeeds and corruption is betraying American democracy. Ladies and gentlemen, congratulate yourselves first for being subscribers here on the BuzWeaver channel and liking the content, because this is what we've been talking about here. Now, I am a small-time YouTuber giving you opinions based upon information I see in the media and going across the board. And I'm just connecting dots. You know, there's nothing magic here. I'm not making any extraordinary claims or extraordinary prophecies here on what could potentially happen. I'm just reading what the media is saying and connecting dots. It's not that difficult. I'd rather do that than just try to come up with ideas and things that may, down the road, obviously become not true, and that could be a problem. But all I have to do is just point out what the media is saying, what the establishment's saying, and what's going on across social media and the manipulations and coercions and censorships and bannings and all these things that are evident that I can show and demonstrate, just like anytime there's some sort of dispute or argument that I have on social media in general, because I can look it up. I have it here in the BuzWeaver archives where we keep all of our information should we need to come back to it and, post it for somebody who just simply doesn't agree or wasn't aware of the information or wasn't aware of what's going on. But nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, that's what I have for you guys this Friday.
All right, guys, so that's going to wrap it up for this Friday vlog. Thank you for the likes, the shares, and the comments. And, of course, below this video, you can find the various Amazon influencer links. You guys can check those out if you have Prime or order from Amazon frequently. It does help out the channel and is greatly appreciated, as well as the support across New Tech and all of you guys here on YouTube. I want to thank all of you guys for your continued support. And of course, appearing there on the screen, ladies and gentlemen, that would be the channel icon. You can click on to subscribe to the channel, as well as to select notifications so you know when there's content here on the channel. And I'll see all you guys right there behind the Galaxy phone camera next week.